That was British Prime Minister Theresa May scrambling to see her way out of a stunning reversal in the UK elections. May losing the majority in Parliament in a snap election that she called 3 years early, hoping to win a big majority to ease the Brexit transition. And now the future of Brexit is on the line, along with her job. President Trump had this to say about the outcome.
Thank you, Malcolm. Surprising.
It was surprising, that's for sure. Niall Gardner is a former special advisor to Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Niall, good to have you with us today. So,
great to be here. Thank you.
Obviously, President Trump said it's surprising. The whole world found what happened in the United Kingdom surprising. Does the outcome disturb you? What does it tell us about what's going on in the United Kingdom?
Well, an absolutely incredible night. I mean, a real political upset here. The Conservatives had been expected to win comfortably, but did not, at the end of the day, receive an overall working majority. So the outlook ahead is certainly going to be very, very tough for Prime Minister May. She's vowed to move forward with a minority government, but depending upon the support of the Democratic Ulster Unionists. And so she is going to be dependent upon another political party to be able to govern over the course of the coming years. And so a very precarious situation certainly for the Prime Minister at this time, but she has vowed to move forward with Brexit and ensure that Brexit will take place. And that's a very important message to send to the British people, that Brexit will be implemented, the will of the British people will certainly be delivered.
I guess that's my biggest question, because when the Brexit vote happened, that was also a huge upset, a really shocking vote to most people who were watching the situation. So is the vote that we saw yesterday a reflection on Brexit? Are people no longer happy with that idea, or is it more of a reflection on Theresa May?
It's a very good question. It certainly was not a rejection of Brexit. After all, the opposition Labour Party, led by Jeremy Corbyn, now backs Brexit and pledged during the campaign to implement Brexit. And only one major UK-wide political party, the Liberal Democrats, actually stood on a platform of opposing Brexit. So there certainly wasn't a rejection of Britain's exit from the European Union at all. However, major questions are being raised today about Theresa May's performances as Prime Minister and her leadership of the campaign. And so there are certainly doubts within the Conservative Party with regard to the Prime Minister's future. And this was not, it has to be said, a very effectively run campaign. And also Theresa May, during the course of the campaign, tried to move the party more and more towards the centre ground, rather than keeping it on the right. And I don't think that actually helped in terms of bringing out Conservative voters.
Yeah, it's so fascinating to watch, because we see some of what we've seen here at home in the United Kingdom. So you've got the middle not really having a lot of traction. And you have, in some ways, I know these are very loose parallels, but you sort of have the Donald Trump, Brexit, more nationalist movement on one side, and then you have Jeremy Corbyn, who in some ways lines up with, Bernie Sanders, where he and Trump had a little bit of common ground. Do you agree?
Well, certainly, I mean, Jeremy Corbyn shares a lot in common with Bernie Sanders, although I would say that Jeremy Corbyn is even further to the left of Bernie Sanders. In fact, he makes Bernie Sanders look like sort of Ronald Reagan in comparison, actually. And I do think that, overall, I mean, the British people, they do want to see Brexit taking place. They do want to see a stronger Britain on the world stage. They do want to see Britain outside of the European Union. And all of the political parties are offering that. However, I think that Jeremy Corbyn offered a sort of, socialist big government message that seemed to appeal to a lot of younger voters. And that was a problem for the Conservatives.
Yeah, a big young turnout in this vote. Niall, thank you very much. Always good to see you.